Hello. Hello, everybody. Hi, Mimi. How are you? Um, can you guys hear what I'm talking about? Can you guys hear I'm talking? Yeah. Okay, cool. We have 3 minutes to starting, so I will start exactly at 8 o'clock, 2 minutes from starting. Okay. So bear with me. I'm gonna start in less than 2 minutes. Hey, I'm going to share screen. Mimi, if you can see, you just thumb up, okay? Can you see? Can you see my screen? Okay, cool. Let me see who's there. There's a lot of people today, huh? Okay. I think I should start now, then I don't have to waste so much time. First, I need to say thank you for giving half an hour of your time to come to my webinar. So without further ado, I'm going to start my presentation. Okay, let me rearrange everything and let me start the presentation. Mimi, can you see it changing? Yes? Okay, thank you. So welcome to my webinar again. This is the fourth webinar I did within this month. And then we have one more tomorrow, which is co-organized with the Dive Center in India. And then I have one more on the 15th of July. So that is all for this month. Then we continue in August. We have a lot of webinar and a lot of topics. So for those who are new, I can see a lot of people who are new, who didn't know me yet. So this is my introduction. My name is Anwar Abdullah, and I'm the founder of Ocean Quest Global. I started this journey in coral conservation in 1981. This is built upon my personal interest as a diver, and it grown into a lifetime passion. Starting with mapping the dive sites and documenting what type of corals thrives there, I also witnessed the first post-monsoon devastation in Malaysia at the same time that year. And I began my research on how to save the coral reef. In 2004, I invented the coral catalyst that is used extensively in coral globe. The catalyst is key to a fully organic coral propagation system. I founded Ocean Quest Malaysia as a social enterprise, a platform to drive conservation to a larger scale. Wrote the guide to coral propagation manual that is used as training material. In 2013, Asian Dive Expo, ADEX, in Singapore appointed me as their coral reef ambassador, the position that I held until today. In the same year, I introduced the coral propagation system for Sea Shepherd Conservation Society that they call the Sea Shepherd Dive campaign. The campaign lasted 5 years, from 2013 to 2018, with big success. Ocean Quest Asia is founded, and the coral propagation program expanded to Brunei and Philippines. I began my collaboration with the Thai Marine National Park Operation Center 3 in 2018. I'm also responsible for part of the rehabilitation of the famous Maya Bay. The rehabilitation of Maya Bay began in 2018 and completed in 2022. A 4-year technological transfer from Ocean Quest Global to the Marine National Park Operations Center 3 in Trang. I also introduced the coral propagation system in Indonesia. Simultaneously, I started conservation projects in Magui Archipelago in Myanmar. I introduced the coral propagation in Maldives, and the Ocean Quest Global is formed a year earlier. The first GhostNet protocol for Ocean Quest Global is published this year. In the conservation initiative of Ocean Quest Global expand into a holistic conservation body. This includes mangrove, seagrass, and forestry. During the pandemic, research and development on the education system continues. Research on tech-based coral conservation is also introduced along with the development of a new strategy. I also introduced the Field Training Instructor course in 2022. Recently, I also expand my reach into blue economy and sustainability project in the coast of the Arabian Sea. Then, through a partner, Cobatech and Ocean Quest Egypt, I'm the first who established a coral nursery in subtropical Red Sea. Ocean Quest Global now have 2,569 trainers and more than 26,000 trained volunteers at our disposal worldwide, the number which is constantly growing. This concludes 43 years of my work in the field of coral conservation.
Okay, away with the introduction and now into the topic. The topic of this webinar is discipline and pathways. Without further ado, let's go to what we are talking about. Okay, in coral conservation, there are many sectors. I only show here 3 main sectors: the research sector, the conservation sector, and the education sector. There are other sectors as well. There are all the financial, conservation finances and all this, but this is the main in the field, you can find in the field, and that people are. So the reason I put this together is because there's a lot of misconception about coral conservation. People think that coral conservation is the job of like marine biologists and professors and people like that. Actually, if you look into this infograph, the marine biologists and the academicians probably sits in these 2 boxes right here, the 2 top right-hand boxes right here. The rest is not them at all. They are not involved in as a conservationist like full-time. No, they're not a ranger, they're not a restorer, they're not a rescuer, they're not a volunteer. And probably on the education side, they are educators, but in their field, only in their academic field. So the education that we're talking about here, the education that is proactive in coral conservation, okay? So the researchers, what do? But depend on what research are they. Are they a geologist? Are they a coral researcher? Are they oceanographer? There are many disciplines in this field, okay? In the research field alone. Then the field observer. Normally the field observer works under the researcher. Probably they are research assistant, or they are students from universities, or people who are assigned by the researchers to go to the field to gather data and stuff, okay? These 2 are related. And then a lot of people are talking about monitoring as well. Well, if you put the monitoring perspective, they are not really data gathering they are data gathering in a way, but not in a way that is going to be in some kind of study, because monitoring is monitoring. Monitoring is recording events. Okay. For example, monitoring a coral nursery, or monitoring a dying reef that is where it's going to go, or monitoring transplant corals into a damaged reef that is going, how the recovery takes place. That's monitoring. Going around, pulling a line, and taking data is surveys. It's completely two different work. Okay. Then we have the engineers. What kind of engineers? Why do we need engineers? Yeah. If you don't have engineers in your organization to make tools, for example, or you don't have bioengineers who creates strategy, then guys, there are people who are talking, and yeah. So I'm going to go back the slide. Yeah. So, and then engineers are important, and engineers, they're not part of this marine biologist, whatever you. So the misconception has to be corrected from here on. Otherwise, there won't be a progressive future for coral conservation if you keep thinking that marine biologists is the only people. Okay. So, and then testing and experimentation, there are technicians. There are many biotechnicians, for example, who apply the research work and apply it to test it to make sure that it works. Once it works, who actually apply it in real in the field is the conservationists. People who apply what has been tested. They either are rangers, they're preventive conservationists, prevention, they prevent damage. So why is this all this different kind of conservation? Yeah, because a lot of people misunderstood the role of conservationists. They thought that, oh, conservationists come to the coral reef just to repair the reef, restore reef. No. What if you go to Raja Ampat, for example? You go to some places in Sulawesi where the reef is pristine. What are you going to restore? You have nothing to restore. Then you do the preventive work. Preventive conservation is to prevent and protect it from damage. Then, if you go to places like somewhere that is damaged by tsunami or big storm, then you need a restoration. Then you need restorative conservation. And then in the coral reef, there are a lot of threats. There may be the crown of thorns starfish that is outbreak, or there is a bleaching event. That what do you do? What do you do with those events? You do countermeasures. So these are the job of the conservationists. Those who do countermeasures are called the rescuers. And then you have the general volunteers, those who work with all the three above here, those who come and help, lending a helping hand to help in the conservation. So the researchers develop something, they find something, they do something, they tested something, and the conservationists apply this. But before they can apply the technique and whatever that was tested, there is a transition of knowledge. The transition of knowledge from research to the conservation is through the education program. Those who write the manuals and courses, the training program, the educators that create the training, right? And then there are skills development. The conservationists, at some point, they become apprentices, they become interns, they learn how to become a conservationist. You can't strap a scuba tank and go to the reef and say, I'm going to do conservation. What kind of conservation? You can do cleanup. You can pick up plastic, fine. But not much more than that, okay? And then there's a sub-branch of education called the advocation. The advocators, they advocate. What do? They connect. They connect from one educator to the people, to the public. They connect Ocean Quest as a organization to corporate sector who wants to help with. They also learn about the coral, and then they go to those who didn't know anything about coral, and they help educate. They are advocates. And then there are professionals like field training instructors developed by Ocean Quest, right? So in the education system of Ocean Quest, we have many levels of training. To be a field training instructor, you have to pass through these stages. You have to start with coral propagator. You learn about coral propagation, the techniques and technology. And now that we have the new patented underwater glue that we use, we are phasing out the old. Although the old system is organic, we are even more conservative in terms of our technique and methodology now. So a lot of even the old trainers have to update with this technique and technology. So the first stage is learning how to handle coral, then learning about coral nursery development and management. Without a nursery, you have no manageable platform for corals that you are growing. So you learn about that too. The training in nursery development includes, of course, building a nursery, selecting sites, doing surveys, environmental assessment, all this part, right? So once you have done that, you may want to do the one on your right, the quality analyst. You can analyze coral, seawater quality, shore profiling, and whatnot. And then if you have the resources, you can go into a specialist. You can skip the specialist and go to the field training instructor. What is it all about? Let's see. Can you see the video, Mimi? Okay.
Quest Field Training Instructor. The timely introduction of this Field Training Instructor (FTI) program and its capacity to support Ocean Quest Global's new education system is crucial to the expansion of the organization. In line with this goal is also the effort to increase the capacity of our field training instructors to broader field and diverse disciplines. The COVID-19 pandemic of 2020 has awakened us to the realization that many aspects of improvement are needed for the organization and its capacity to give good services to its trainers. Therefore, it is necessary to reanalyze the way things are done and to devise a solid strategy that Ocean Quest Global and their team of trainers can depend on. First step is the reduction of burden of the trainers in teaching the courses. This is the reason all knowledge development pertaining to courses is shifted to virtual platforms, removing the need for instructors to present the course in classroom, and giving them role in administering immersive field training experience to the students. Lightening the burden of classroom work also allow Ocean Quest Global to design more courses and let the field training instructors have more selection of training to offer to the students. The structure of the trainer course has also been changed. Knowledge of coral propagation and nursery development is no longer part of the instructor training. Instead, this knowledge is developed through the coral propagation course and the nursery development and management course. The FDI training now concentrates on standardization of the instructional methods, lesson delivery, and evaluation. Along these lines, emphasis is also given in shaping the FDI's quality and professionalism. Global also realized that there are many external factors limiting our instructors from progressing in the field they are passionate with. Though conservation is a universal responsibility of all human beings, they often did not unite and work together. Instead, many conservation agencies choose to compete with each other for the limited funds. Our organization prohibits FDI from becoming part of this segregation. We build bridges for others to be partners with us, and not to compete for the finance. This is why Ocean Quest Global encourages its instructors to earn wealth from their services. Our professionalism set pathways towards peaceful resolution to societal problems. This is reflected in our code of conduct defined in the Field Training Instructor Manual. As an Ocean Quest Global FDI, the individual is guided by this code and must portray commitment and good conduct. It is the core values instilled in us that sets us apart from other conservation agencies. Upon completion of this training, our FDI stands highest with respect to their capacity to make a change. Concept of the Field Training Instructor. The Field Training Instructor (FDI) program is introduced to replace the Ocean Quest Global Coral Propagation Trainer. The main reason for this development is to allow Ocean Quest Global Trainer to expand their capability beyond just propagating corals. In the old system, the Coral Propagation Trainer is limited to the Coral Propagation course and workshops. It is a narrow corridor for personal development. The FDI program opened the perspective and allowed for broader personal development of our trainers. Ocean Quest Global also defines the role of their FDI so that the public understands the concepts of its education system. The FDI instruction is technical. The development of this technical education and its sciences is not part of the teaching. It is like teaching a driving skill. The student did not need to acquire the knowledge of what a car is made of. Instead, the technique of safe driving and maintaining a car is emphasized. Similarly, a coral propagation student does not need to acquire in-depth knowledge of coral biology to start learning propagation technique and nursery maintenance. However, if the student has the desire to venture into the scientific realm of coral reef rehabilitation, they can be part of the Field Research Team, FRT. The FRT is not part of FDI. The magnitude of coral reef rehabilitation is too large to house everything as one. The Field Research Team is the source of information of the sciences behind the Ocean Quest Global Coral Rehabilitation System. Now we have completed the introduction and concepts of the Field Training Instructor. In the next videos, you will be introduced to the philosophy and corridors of opportunities for the Field Training Instructors.
Right. So that's a short introduction of what training is all about, becoming an Ocean Quest trainer. The opportunities. So now the knowledge development is available on virtual platform because, as we know, travel now is expensive and costly. So a lot of people who want to be trained are not willing to stay a long time in the location because of the cost. So they can learn the basic knowledge at home before they come to the location. This is why we have the virtual learning platform. They can save time and money by learning building the knowledge at home then they go to the location and do the field training. That shortens the time that they travel and lessen the cost. Another way for knowledge development opportunity is to follow the regular conservation webinar that we are going to have. We're going to have at least 4 webinars per month on different topics of coral conservation. So follow us with this one, and you will find a lot of information. Field training, opportunities for field training. I put 3 here. We have actually 17 of the different locations in Borneo, in Thailand, Koh Lipe, Thailand, actually in Koh Lanta, Thailand as well in December this year. And then we have the Philippines, and we have Pakistan and India, and we have Egypt as well. We have so many places. So the field training opportunities, you can choose a location that's closest to you. Okay. So, but then the most complete training platform at the moment is in Borneo, where we have our own eco camp. Okay. But it's not necessarily that you have to go there to acquire the knowledge, the skills. Okay. What else do we offer besides training opportunities? Action. Yes. Join the action now. If you want to be in action with us in the field, we have 2 big operation campaigns coming up. One is the GhostNet operation. The Operation Magnet is a mega GhostNet countermeasure project that we will start in the Magui archipelago in Myanmar, and it will start to spread within the Southeast Asia region. Okay? So stay tuned on this one. This one will start around somewhere in okay, sorry for the connection. Yeah. Sorry for the connection. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry for the connection just now. Yeah, if you are here still, I'm going to share screen again. Yeah. Put a thumb up if you can see the screen. Yeah. Can you see the screen? Somebody put a thumb up. Yeah. Okay. So we have operations going on. Operation Golden Hour. What is Operation Golden Hour? Operation Golden Hour is something that people have never done before. Why? Because they didn't know anything about it. Okay. So, environmental catastrophe. For example, a super typhoon that hits Philippines, like last year, in December last year. It wipes out about 22 kilometers of coastline, of reefs on the coastline, all right? And then it was on 16th of December, 2022, and we were invited to come to work on that reef, the dead reef, in April this year. That is too late. If environmental catastrophe like what I've just mentioned just now happens, it has its golden hour. As soon as the sea is safe to go, you have about 70 hours. The pieces of coral that is broken during that storm or earthquake or whatever that damaged them are still alive. The polyps are still alive. If you wait, if you let it be and you wait, and those polyps have been sloshed around in the surge and been buried in the sand, they will die. And when they die, you have nothing left to restore. Okay? So responding during the golden hour is very important. So when an environmental catastrophe happens, nobody go do assessment on environmental damage. They will count how many people died, how much value of property damage. But they did not do a research or they did not do a survey on the resources that supports these people. Okay, so we need to help to do this, to run on the golden hour and rescue as much as we can. And then the resources is taken care of somehow, even in small scale. But at least there are steps taken after environmental catastrophe to restore, to start restoring. You can't wait 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 10 months, 4 months, whatever it is. You can't wait longer. If your environment is broken while the organism is still alive, rescue it. This is what Operation Golden Hour is all about. Okay? Then let's move on to Operation Magnet. Okay? Yeah, it's a mega GhostNet campaign. Yeah, there's plenty of net. That is in one day. Okay, that is in one day. And we've spent 10 days there. There's a lot of fishing net that is abandoned in the ocean in the Magui archipelago. So Operation Magnet or Mega Ghost Net operation is going to be starting in the Magui archipelago in October this year. Okay? So Operation Golden Hour will start in 2024 in January. Then we will start training people on assessment or post-devastation training. There's a lot of training going on first in preparation, because when it comes to July, August, then the windy season starts, especially in the Philippines. Wherever you have big storms and regular and repeated threats from catastrophic environmental events, we will then identify those locations, and we will have stations there where people will be able to respond quickly after a catastrophic event. Okay. Or we will also work with airlines and corporations that will be able to transport us quickly there to the location when any catastrophic event happens. Okay. So I think my half an hour of the time is almost done now. And we are back to the first slide. And okay, screen sharing stopped. So yeah, the next webinar is tomorrow night. Is about opportunities for divers and dive masters. Then the next 3 days, we have also a webinar about advocacy. Wow, how do you do advocacy? If you are not capable of traveling thousands of miles, hundreds of miles to the location, what do? You can advocate. You can learn about coral reef, and you can transfer this little knowledge you have to people who have totally no knowledge at all. So that is as simple as that. You become an advocate. Okay. So, and then after that, we will have on the 2nd of August, between 15th of July to 2nd of August, I will be at sea. So I won't be running webinar, but 2nd of August, I will be back with sustainability. We're talking about sustainability. And that is a world-changing topic because it is, we have to then point out what is going on with sustainability that people talk about and what is the sustainability that they do. Okay, that too. So 2nd of August is also a big topic. So I open for 3 minutes of question if you have any question. So after that, we will wrap it up. Okay. Any question?
Hey, Anwar. I don't have a question, but I was just going to mention you've got your online training platform. There are some online, like Skillshare. There are websites where you can monetize your training platforms. I don't know if that's of any interest to you, but it popped into my head. So I've just paid for a year's subscription of Skillshare.
Yeah, we have.
So this might be worth looking at that.
Well, our platform is already run by a company anyway. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good to know. But I wasn't aware of your online training. That looks great. It's a good idea as well.
Yeah, it's developed by a company. So the company makes a little bit of from the fee, and then the rest goes to Ocean Quest for our research funding. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So if there's no question, no further question.
I have one little question.
You're breaking.
On the can you hear me? Yeah. On the Caribbean side, as we have a lot of hurricane every season, hurricane season. So is there anyone around here?
Not yet.
As I'm here, I would like, if there is anyone, to meet anyone here and we could maybe manage to create something around the Caribbean.
Yeah, sure. You are a trainer. I can train you for a start.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that could be very good. Yeah.
So, so when are you going back to Indonesia? When you go back to Indonesia, it's nearer for me to give you the updates. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll organize that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm also on the Caribbean, so it would be great that we can actually make a group or something and get this working because we have hurricanes all the time. It's like we went through Hurricane Maria and it destroyed pretty much our island. So
okay.
Where in the Caribbean are you?
Let's
Puerto Rico.
Let's do Operation Golden Hour chapter on your side, and maybe we train a group of people from your side, and then they become the responder for environmental catastrophe. Okay. So
that would be great.
Yeah. So let's do that. Okay.
All right, count me in.
Yeah. So okay. Keep in touch. You have my contact, and keep in touch. And I thank you again for the half an hour that is provided to me by you guys so that I can talk about this topic. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Doc.
Bye-bye.